How's it going, guys? So today on the Phantom Cave YouTube channel, we're going to be reviewing the Regal Comics issue 2 of the Phantom series. Now, it has two stories in this comic, and they are Terror in Matuan and the Sinbad Stone. I hope you enjoy this review of one of the most probably anticipated comics coming out of India as of yet, and we are going to be starting off with story number 1, Terror in the Matuan. It is written by Tony Deepole, and the artist for this one is Graham Nolan, and the cover art for this issue is done by Vincent Moses Raja. So yeah, you're probably telling by the thumbnail of this video, is it going to be a good book? Well, in the last issue and this issue being, it's quite a good book. I know that in the later issues, we actually see an increase in good printing materials. We actually see an increase in good printing and the production of the comic. That's included in, I think, issue 5 and 6. And those issues, they're very well done. I absolutely love those issues, and those comics will be coming to the channel very soon, since until I read them, I will be doing a lot of reading. Like I've got the Collector's Replica series number 26 to read. I'm probably halfway through that book, and that book's been pretty good. And the next couple of pages, we actually get to see a banded together of riffraffs and basically evil guys coming out of a country where there isn't any, probably no democratic sort of bits and pieces done to it. And the leader is sentenced to death in Argentina. Argentina, for the murder of innocents in a dozen nations. He's the Python, and he comes from one of the bigger tribes. He comes from Wambezi, and those tribes, they're known for their war antics in stories, especially the old stories by Lee Falk and either Ray Moore, Wilson McCoy, or Seymour Barry. Now, in this story, we actually get to see where the Phantom has to stop basically a terror thing that has happened in the country. He has to try and stop the Python from blowing up something. And the story, it's well developed. It's very well developed. Now, I say that because you can read it if you haven't even read it for the first time, like I have. Well, I don't think I have read Terror in Matuan, but the story, it reminds me of how Paul Ryan used to do it. Like the art itself, it sort of reminds me how Paul Ryan, unfortunately passed away in 2016. But the story and the art that goes with it, it sort of reminds me of what Paul Ryan was like and how he did his art for the dailies and all that sort of stuff. And he, like I said, he unfortunately died or passed away in 2016, which in 2016 was basically my starting year of reading The Phantom. So yeah, and back in 2016, we actually had a sort of a story come out that was tributed to the legendary Paul Ryan. And this story was in full color. It was published back in 2016, and I think it may have been published just before the annual. I'm pretty sure. Because Chronicle Chamber actually did did a post on Paul Ryan, on him and how he travelled to Australia only once in his lifetime and unfortunately passed away in 2016. Now, the Phantom has to try and stop this terror attack on the president, I'm pretty sure. And in doing so, he nearly kills himself in stopping this terror attack and making sure that the Python either lives again or either dies. Hopefully he dies, but he doesn't actually die. The Python and the Phantom go all out and he escapes. He then leads the Phantom on basically a half-hearted adventure through town, and the Phantom is, you got to watch out for one of those people in this comic strip, which is this guy. We see him a lot in this story, and the Phantom doesn't actually take much. He doesn't actually notice him that much, and that's why he is the lone assassin that is helping the Python basically destroy the Phantom. But we all know the Phantom cannot die. He's the ghost who walks, and eventually the Phantom, the 21st generation of the Phantom, will eventually die, and that will be sad. But in this story, he survives. The Phantom goes back to the Skull Cave to basically repair and basically just take well-being into account and get better. He then leaves to the Skull Cave, and that's where Guren is basically making sure that he's okay and all that sort of stuff. Story number 2 is the Sinbad Stone. It is story by Graham Nolan, artist by Graham Nolan. And in this story, we actually see a continuation of the Python story. Now, I think early 2010s, the Python was really popular in the Phantom comic strip. The Python has been seen in the comic strip a lot of times and has caused havoc for the Phantom and his families and friends and all like that. And then we see one of the first couple of stories that we actually get to see the Phantom's eyes. Ooh, I wonder what would happen. And the Guren takes care of him, and the Phantom and Diana go on a vacation to a distant island. We then see a lone survivor of a Sinbad Stone person that had been trying to collect it, I think, and the Sinbad Stone has a awful curse to it, and whoever touches the Sinbad Stone before perishes. And the Phantom has to basically stop this smuggling operation in this island. Unfortunately, his vacation becomes a non-vacation in words, and he basically takes everyone out, and the main guy that's looking for the Sinbad Stone, he eventually does not get it. Well, he does get it, and then he doesn't. And the Phantom takes care of everyone else. He then gets ready for all the prisoners to basically escape. He gets all the prisoners to escape. He then blows up their basically neighborhood. And the Sinbad Stone is yet again missing for another 100 years. And the Phantom survives as again, and we end the story with the Sinbad Stone fishing up in one of the seagulls' nests, which is a pretty odd place where you'd want to put a Sinbad stone, because of its legacy and all that sort of stuff, and all that sort of stuff. So, if you would like to subscribe to the PhantomCave YouTube channel, please do so. Down in the description down below, you can subscribe to the PhantomCave YouTube channel. And as always, keep PhantomCaving, and we'll be having another couple of YouTube shorts come out in the next next week or two. And I'm organizing that. I'm editing it right now as we speak. And as always, keep PhantomCaving, and we'll see you next week.